looks like silly season is trying to start early. Now, before I really dive into this whole kind of Alonso going to Red Bull in 2024, I want to talk about where the source comes, why it's a rumor, and why I don't think this is going to happen. Now, some guy called Matthew J. Thompson, he is on Twitter, and clearly this freelance reporter loves Alonso. I want to really go into and see if this type of rumor is justified. I get the reasons as to why this is kind of happening as of right now. I want to talk about that, but I just don't see this being a possibility for a guy that's really enjoying himself right now. Well, here's the guy, Matthew J. Thompson. As I said, here is his Twitter. He is a reporter that solely focuses really on Aston Martin, and I would mainly say Fernando Alonso. Now, he says he's a freelance sports journalist, and a lot of the stuff that he reports, sometimes he's pretty accurate, sometimes he's not. I mean, it's hit or miss for this guy. And one of the things that he just recently announced, saying that, by the way, if this finally happens, it could trigger Fernando Alonso's departure to Red Bull. Specifically talking about the team principal, Otmar. Now, Otmar is a team principal that just got fired. Guess they parted ways respectfully in Alpine. So he has just now left Alpine, and it is rumored, this is the first thing that has come out and why we're going down this real spiral of Alonso joining Red Bull in 2024. It is rumored that he is going back to Aston Martin. Now, this guy started his career in Force India, actually worked his way up pretty well in that team while they were under the guy that really had the whole entire scandal. If you watch Drive to Survive, if you really know who VJ is, a lot of stuff kind of happened with the guy being a billionaire and really losing a lot of money and really being kind of bankrupt and not actually having that money. And the whole kind of Force India team went down the dumps. So after that, Lawrence Stroll buys out Racing Point. Well, Racing Point is what it was renamed to after Force India. So from Racing Point, we go into the first year of Aston Martin. Now, Otmar has stayed from Force India to Racing Point to Aston Martin. So he has been consistently through the team, and they part ways in 2021. So in 2022, he goes to Alpine, been there from 2022 to the middle of 2023, and now he's going somewhere else. And he says he will have a lot more ruling at this team. Well, he was in the actual Aston Martin paddock for a long while, and some people are saying, is it goodbyes? Is he talking to the team? Some reporter actually asked him a question, are you actually going back to Aston Martin? He said no comment. So from this, he reports it could trigger Fernando Alonso's departure to Red Bull. Now, what gave me this whole idea was TACRAB, if you guys actually follow him on YouTube. He also reported this and said the same thing that I'm kind of saying right now too. This Matthew J. Thompson guy, we don't know if he's an AI or somebody that's actually kind of a freelance reporter. He tries to report a lot of things on Aston Martin, as I said, tries to get ahead of the curve as if he is in that Fernando Alonso camp. And then by Aston Martin F1 Update says, information by Matthew Thompson, reputable BBC UK journalist. I want to mention this all because I don't want to feel like I'm clickbaiting or telling you guys wrong information. I just want to talk about the actual possibility of him going here. Fernando Alonso will be joining Red Bull for 2024 season to replace Sergio Perez. The contract is a price of 12 years. Oh, apparently they know the contract of the price too, which is an unprecedented high amount for an energy drink company. This was the information that Matthew Thompson gave to Aston Martin F1 Updates. I mean, it just sounds like crazy to already have that type of information. Do I think it is a possibility? I do think so. I think that there is some chance that we actually, for once, get to see two godly drivers in a godly car. I mean, it's been ages. I would say the last time we saw that was really Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton, and we knew who was the better out of the two. I feel like with these two, this would genuinely be a firefight every single race. Now, Nico Rosberg was a great racer, don't get me wrong, but Lewis Hamilton was a more talented one. Nico beat him off of real pure mind games and really being able to, I would say, get those consistent points when Lewis Hamilton was not doing his best. He was there when he needed to be. Fernando is a talent like no other. I think that this would be a matchup in heaven, but I do not think it would go down that well. The guys drive in a completely different driving style. Now, Fernando is an adaptable driver. In the Ferrari stint that he was driving, he adapted to an oversteer and understeer car. That was, it was abysmal to watch that car actually drive, and he still drove it very well. Before I get more into the video, I just wanted to thank you guys absolutely so much. You guys are the damn best, honestly, the damn best. And thank you all so much for the support. Please subscribe if you haven't, like, it would mean the world, and hit that notification bell if you have not. Let's get more into this video. The guy Fernando has just had such a reputable career. I mean, it's even his McLaren stint, even his Alpine stint, and now what he's doing in Aston Martin, it has just been nothing but phenomenal. The guy has just been, literally, he is among the greats and will go down into the Hall of Fame of Formula One and will never be forgotten. He's just that type of driver. He was the only one competing with Vettel when Vettel had the superior car every single year. He's always been that guy. So to see him go into a team and replace Sergio Perez is a good driver, but he can't compete with Max Verstappen. So it would be nice to see, let's see if 2024 Red Bull is actually that much higher, which they might be. It would be nice to see an actual fight up there. Maybe there's chances now. Maybe they collide. Maybe something goes wrong. They're actually going to have close racing. It's going to be a time on time who's going to get this win. The thing is, they drive differently though. As I said before, Max Verstappen is an oversteer driver. He loves pointing the car. He drives on that knife edge. He goes into slow speed corners and medium speed corners at a very edge type level. It's very narrow the way that he does it. Now, Alonso drives in an understeer type style. When he drove the Renault back in the day, when he won his 2 championships, that car had to understeer like crazy, but that was something that he preferred. Even in driver interviews, you ask him, he says understeer. You ask Max, it's oversteer. Oversteer is usually the type of drive in a car that you want to go faster, but understeer in specific corners and hitting the corner after braking can be helpful. Drivers like Lewis Hamilton love that, Carlos Sainz, and Sergio Perez. But Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen love oversteer. It's just kind of the way that they drive. That car, the Red Bull, is super front-ended. Usually a front-ended car has a lot of oversteer. It's kind of something that comes with the territory. Now, a car with a great rear has sometimes occasional understeer. It's the reason why Mercedes has been struggling. Lewis doesn't like the car. It's the reason why actually Aston Martin was so strong in the beginning of the year, because the back of the car was strong. So why would Alonso take this risk going to Red Bull, maybe ruining his chances of kind of that really household name that he has at an older age? Yes, it gives him a chance at a championship, but he could win a championship at Aston Martin here. They have the right team. They have everything in place. They just hired a guy from Red Bull. It's just something that seems out of the blue. Why would this be a thing? A contract for $12 million? I'm pretty sure that Aston Martin actually signed Fernando for like $25 million or something stupid like that. Why would he take a lower price? It's just crazy to be hearing these things so early on. Him leaving this Aston Martin team, I do not think is a possibility. I think that would be a shame to not see him really finish his career here in Aston Martin and see what he can do. Can he actually take a championship with the team that has never taken a championship before? Some team that has been building its way up. He could be that guy. He could be the Michael Schumacher in this case. In Michael's case, it was Ferrari. Now this is the British Ferrari. So I am an Aston Martin fan. I would love to see him stay here. I'd also love to see him in Red Bull though. I think that would be a fantastic matchup, but I think I'll automatically go in there with a disadvantage. And I feel like at that point, that is why I would not like to see them, and that is why I think Fernando Alonso would not go to see him. They're also very good friends, that out of it too. So the whole actual discussion, this Matthew Thompson guy, the BBC UK journalist that only covers Fernando Alonso. I don't know, UK journalists that would only cover Fernando Alonso. If anything, they would be British biased, like usual. Lewis Hamilton, Lando Norris, George Russell. I don't think it would really be Fernando Alonso, but he's got 12K followers. A lot of people comment. It's being discussed right now, being talked about really on YouTube, and I wanted to hear your guys' thoughts on it, honestly. Let me know your opinion on the whole entire, who would you like in that Red Bull seat? Like, what would be, for me, the driver that I would really want in that Red Bull seat would be Charles Leclerc. I think that those two, head to head, Charles will take pole every single race, but the race would be super close. It would be, chef's kiss. It would be such a fantastic time to watch something like that. Silly season is upon us. Stay updated with me. We're going to be talking about whoever gets traded, who's not, where's it going. I'm excited to really see how this August kind of plays out. I'm going to be having a lot of videos for you guys. Definitely a lot more planned towards some rankings, going a little bit more into some technical deep analysis, and speaking really about the season for drivers and teams. So I hope you guys stay up to date on the channel. This is an interesting topic that I kind of wanted to cover, and I just wanted to see your guys' thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down below. Please leave a like, subscribe. It would mean the world, and peace.